pacing, maybe blowing off a little bit of steam. You see, she just got some really bars, pacing, maybe blowing off a little bit of steam. You see, she just got some really bad news. The Trump administration.
The evening was meant to fade into the usual haze of luxury. Another elite gathering where glitter blinded the truth and every secret stayed tucked beneath silk curtains. But the moment Glenn Maxwell stepped into that shimmering Manhattan penthouse, the atmosphere snapped. Laughter thinned. Voices stalled. Even the hum of music dipped, as if the room itself was holding its breath. Because whenever Maxwell opened her mouth, storms followed. And this time, a hurricane was coming. Behind those golden doors sat Meghan Markle, the Duchess whose grace had become her armor. She looked composed, untouched, unaware that the foundation beneath her was about to crack open. Those present swear that the instant Maxwell began speaking, the warmth drained from the air. Her voice didn't spill confessions, it delivered precision-cut blades. Each phrase struck at Meghan's reputation, her connections, the image she'd spent years perfecting. By the time Maxwell finished her first quiet monologue, Meghan's fingers shook. Her eyes, usually trained to project royal serenity, shimmered with disbelief. A few witnesses insist they heard her murmur, almost to no one, "How could I have missed this?" She gripped her phone as though it were the last solid thing in the room, pacing in tight circles like someone trying to outrun the truth. The confident Duchess, who once endured palace storms, now appeared fragile, painfully human, wounded in a way no camera had ever captured. But what did Maxwell unleash? That's the question setting the internet on fire. Insiders claim her disclosures cut far deeper than gossip, personal, intimate revelations powerful enough to make Meghan reevaluate every face in her orbit. Maxwell, infamous for her icy restraint, reportedly unveiled a chain of silent alliances and buried motives hiding behind Hollywood smiles and royal etiquette. She exposed the invisible hands tugging at the strings of Meghan's life, hands Meghan hadn't even realized existed. Inside that suite, minutes blurred into hours. Meghan paced like someone trapped in a maze built from her own trust. Every memory felt tainted. Every favor, every warm embrace, every whispered promise replayed with new, terrifying clarity. The world she thought she controlled suddenly looked like an elaborate stage set, and she wasn't sure who had written her lines. And for the first time, she understood she might not just be a player in the game. She might have been the pawn. A game controlled by people far more ruthless than she ever imagined. And the fallout was immediate. When Meghan finally emerged from that suite, her complexion was ghost white, her expression drained. She looked vacant, one staffer whispered, like her body walked out, but her soul stayed trapped behind those doors. She attempted a smile for the flashing cameras, but it barely held. Her lips moved, yet her eyes revealed the chaos clawing at her chest. Within hours, the whispers ignited. Someone had spilled that Maxwell had detonated something massive, and the internet lunged at the rumor like predators. Twitter erupted with hashtag Meghan in shambles and hashtag Maxwell reveals all, flooding timelines across continents. Reporters scrambled, clawing for details of what happened in that sealed room. Speculation turned feral. Was it political? Personal? A betrayal? Something darker? No one knew the truth, but the world demanded a sacrifice. Inside Meghan's inner circle, panic seized the air. Phones screamed nonstop. Lawyers rushed in. PR teams barricaded themselves in conference rooms. It was DEFCON 1, an insider admitted. Every sentence, every draft, every text message was weighed like it might blow everything up. Public engagements were quietly erased from her schedule. Appearances postponed. Meghan disappeared from sight, but her silence only amplified the frenzy. Friends described sleepless nights, pacing halls, and whispered calls at 3 a.m. Meghan reached out to her closest confidants one by one, her voice shaking. She's terrified, one confided, not just for her reputation, but for what these revelations might unravel. Because this wasn't tabloid noise. This wasn't clickbait. Maxwell hadn't thrown allegations. She had pierced something deeply personal, something tied to Meghan's sense of self. A truth that could rupture friendships, derail careers, maybe even end her marriage. Even behind palace walls, the tremors were felt. Royal staffers whispered in tight corridors, fully aware of how fast a single headline could evolve into a global disaster. "It's not just Meghan we're worried about," one aide murmured. "It's the chain reaction. Another media inferno could be catastrophic." Meanwhile, amateur detectives, those relentless online truth hunters, began dissecting every interview Meghan ever gave. Every gala, every charity speech, every photo. No gesture was too small. No smile too genuine. Suddenly, the Duchess wasn't a public figure. She was a puzzle, a case file, a mystery begging to be decoded. Her PR team worked in a haze of cold coffee and glowing screens, crafting statements, shredding them, rewriting them again. Each sentence felt lethal. Too strong and "we're feeding the beast." Too soft and "it looks like guilt," one source muttered. Every choice was a trap, and while Meghan scrambled to contain the blaze, Maxwell remained disturbingly serene. No press tours. No public clarifications. No frantic defenses. She didn't have to. The story had already mutated beyond her. The silence itself became gasoline. By dawn, tabloids were locked and loaded. Meghan Markle breaks down after Maxwell's stunning disclosure. An image of a tear-streaked Duchess pacing a penthouse window spread like wildfire. The public was addicted, some rushing to defend her, others accusing her of manipulation. The world split in two, believers and doubters. Every opinion was amplified, shared, weaponized. Back inside her suite, Meghan sat alone, scrolling through article after article. Her face was drained, her eyes swollen, her posture stiff with a kind of quiet fury. "This isn't gossip anymore," she told a trusted friend. "They're trying to crush me." Her lawyers mobilized instantly. Midnight calls. Emergency strategies. Documents drafted at breakneck speed. Plans to shield her reputation, to salvage whatever remained of the persona she'd built. Her PR strategists fought over whether to strike back or stay silent, but every option felt like stepping onto a landmine. One wrong phrase could ignite a fresh disaster. Meanwhile, palace officials, though pretending indifference, were secretly in full crisis mode. They tracked every trending spike, every headline shift, every whisper echoing through the press. "This isn't just about Meghan," one royal insider muttered. "This is about protecting the crown." The days blended into one long, sleepless blur. Meghan's home transformed into a command center, legal teams at the dining table, PR experts pacing hallways, emotional support staff whispering reassurances. Mornings began with tense briefings. Nights ended in drained silence. Her closest friends described her as running solely on resilience, shaken but unbroken, exhausted but unwilling to collapse. "She isn't defeated," one confidant insisted. "She's gathering strength. This isn't about brand management anymore. It's about staying afloat." Outside, the media frenzy intensified by the hour. Talk show pundits speculated recklessly about Maxwell's supposed revelations. Some suggested hidden financial drama, others hinted at fractured friendships and secret betrayals. The mystery only made the chaos more addictive. By midweek, Meghan's name dominated every algorithm. Analysts debated whether her streaming deals or speaking engagements were at risk. PR specialists called it one of the most explosive reputation crises in recent memory. Even Buckingham Palace's press team monitored the storm, though they refused, publicly, to utter a single word. Behind closed doors, Meghan was unraveling. Friends said she barely slept, scrolling endlessly through old messages, rereading emails, hunting for warning signs she had ignored. She questioned everything, every alliance, every opportunity, every smile that once felt sincere. She's seeing what fame truly costs, one insider sighed. And it's tearing her apart. Yet she refused to simply disappear. In brief flashes of clarity, she insisted on being involved in every decision, every draft, every press release. "I need something I can steer," she reportedly told her team. "I won't let them rewrite who I am." But control kept slipping through her fingers. Every carefully crafted statement spawned new conspiracies. Every denial twisted into implication. Every pause became an accusation. Silence turned into suspicion. Words turned into traps, and then Maxwell struck again. Not through interviews, not through cameras, but through the quiet corridors of elite society, whispered comments, subtle confirmations, tiny sparks that reignited the inferno. She didn't need a press conference. She understood the rules of high society warfare better than anyone. She knew a single whisper could roar louder than 1,000 headlines. And when Meghan was involved, the world was more than eager to amplify the noise. For Meghan, it felt like a full-scale siege. Every ping of her phone, every call, every new headline carried the sting of accusation. She began hosting emergency meetings long after midnight, her team arguing strategy until sunrise. Should they file lawsuits? Confront Maxwell head-on? Or wait it out and pray the narrative collapsed under its own weight? No option felt safe. Even her most loyal allies wavered. Hollywood acquaintances stopped answering. Invitations evaporated. Brand partners hesitated. Scandal was radioactive, and Meghan could feel the world quietly stepping away. Meanwhile, Buckingham Palace's silence grew sharper, colder. No public support, no subtle reassurance, just a calculated void. A silence that felt like a message, "You're on your own now." By week's end, the exhaustion showed. Paparazzi captured her slipping out of her residence, face hidden behind dark glasses, jaw clenched with fatigue. The tabloids pounced again, twisting her quiet into arrogance, her restraint into guilt. But those who truly knew her saw something else. "She's worn down," a friend murmured. But she hasn't surrendered. She knows the storm isn't passing. She's preparing her next move. Inside, the strategy shifted. Her legal team hunted for leaks. Her PR advisors curated a series of controlled, softly lit appearances meant to remind the world of the woman beneath the chaos, thoughtful, composed, human. Yet, even that felt treacherous. Every step she takes becomes a headline, one exhausted advisor sighed. There's no victory here, only survival. Maxwell remained a ghostly presence, calm, deliberate, unreachable. Her silence was louder than a press tour. She didn't defend herself or refute anything. She didn't need to. She understood the ecosystem. A single whisper could ripple for months. And Meghan? She waited too, but her waiting was frantic, a heart pacing behind ribcage bars. She prayed for the storm to die down, yet feared what truths the quiet might reveal. By the second week, the world had turned her anguish into entertainment. Memes, reaction clips, panel debates dissecting her every blink. Her heartbreak had become global content. Inside her penthouse, though, everything felt muted. The phones rang less. Her inner circle shrank. Even the city outside sounded distant. Meghan stood at the window, staring at the reflection of the woman the world thought it understood. She had spent years crafting her image graceful, articulate, unshakable. But now all of it felt fragile. One woman's whispered revelations had toppled a reputation that once seemed untouchable. And yet, beneath the tears, something inside her hardened, a shard of resolve. "This won't define me," she vowed. "She'll rise from this," a friend promised. But first, she had to live through it. Days bled into nights, and the chaos refused to die. Meghan's world felt compressed, suffocating, every breath monitored, every gesture judged. Maxwell's quiet bombshell had detonated far beyond expectation. Even her stillness was weaponized. She's hiding something, critics claimed. She's guilty, others taunted. Another corner whispered, she's shattered. Inside her penthouse, Meghan sat in a silence heavier than any headline. Her phone buzzed with urgent messages from her team, but she didn't answer. She stared at the glowing screen as article after article twisted her pain into spectacle. Anger smoldered beneath her ribs. Fear churned in her stomach. But overriding it all was grief for the version of herself she'd worked so hard to build. Her voice cracked as she muttered, "I never wanted this." By now, Maxwell didn't need to utter another syllable. The world had taken over for her. Rumors became narratives. Narratives became truth. And Meghan's name remained the currency everyone cashed in on. But then, one morning, something shifted. Meghan stood before the mirror. Her eyes were swollen, but unwavering. "Enough," she whispered. "They've taken enough." She called her team. Straightened her back. began outlining her next public step. Not to repair her image, but to reclaim her dignity. Because beneath the fractures, she was still standing. Bruised, yes, but unbroken. The world could continue whispering. The headlines could keep twisting. Maxwell's shadow could loom. Meghan had made her decision. She would walk into the storm with her chin lifted, her gaze steady, her heart armored. Because silence isn't always surrender. Sometimes, silence is the moment before someone rises. And this time, Meghan Markle wasn't running. She was rising.